On what basis would they judge you to get into Christ because of that? There are three things what I feel. The first, hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel after 3 months. I wasn't able to shoot any videos because I was occupied with exams, occupied with fests. I had events to conduct, so that's why I was not able to shoot any video. But now here I'm back after 3 months on YouTube, and now what I'm going to discuss is about my interview experience, because the interviews for Christ are about to begin. So I thought, why not let's share my interview experience? How was it? So it was conducted during the same time of the year in 2023, and what I feel is it was a decent experience. Why? Because eventually I was able to get into Christ because of that. And if you talk about on what basis would they judge you, there are three things what I feel. The first one is a dress code, a domain knowledge, and the third one is a clarity of thought. Now, if we could talk about the domain knowledge, in the domain knowledge section, they asked me about the concepts related to accountancy. Since I was from a commerce background, they wanted to judge how well I'm how well versed I am with my basics. So they asked me what's cost of goods sold. So that's why I was able to answer what's my favorite subject. I answered accountancy. So that's what they judged me upon. Now the second one is your dress code. Now, how do they judge you on dress code? Because Christ feel that dress code matters a lot in the forthcoming future for you as an individual. Because when you get into corporate, you will be judged by a dress code. That's what they feel. So dress properly. If you are a man, try to put on shirt, pant, and a tie. It would look awesome. If you are a girl, try to put on kurtis, because that's what we can say the dress code of Christ says to you. Coming on to the third, which is a clarity of thought. Now, how do they measure you on that? Suppose they'll ask you about a current scenario, what's happening. During my time, there was an issue about same-sex marriage. There was a ruling about. You can say there was a case in the Supreme Court. So I was well versed with that. So I knew, because in Christ they'll check you about your current affairs as well. So that's how I was prepared with it. But if you're talking about in today's time, you got to be well aware what's happening around you. So you might get a question on that, but it's not necessarily that you will get a question on that. Now, coming on to the last part, which is your extempore or micro presentation. Now what happens in it is you'll be given a topic at random. The topic is generally on the current affairs, and it's very easy, to be honest. I've given the interview, and my topic was digitalization in banking, not in banking, in businesses. So I was able to do it because I used to read articles, I used to read newspapers. I was well aware of what's happening around me, and it's an easy topic. You can talk about how the technology has or how digitalization has we can say ease the process of doing business. So I was able to do that, and it was a decent experience for me, because the people who took my interview, they wished me very well for the future, and I got a vibe that I would be able to make it through Christ. So that's how my interview experience was it. And if you want a pro tip from me about how to ace your Christ interviews, you got to be very well fluent with your English and a clarity of thought, and do well in your micro presentation, because that's what it matters the most. And it doesn't matter if you haven't done well in your written test, because if you don't do well in a written test and you do well in your interview experiences in Christ, you will be able to ace it through. And that's not the other way around. If you don't do well in your interview, and if you've done well in your written test, you might have to face the axe. But what I feel is, if you do your interviews well, you'll be able to ace through Christ and get into this campus. Okay, so that's it from my side. Thank you so much for watching. If you got any doubts, do drop in the comments, and do like, share, and subscribe to the video. Okay, chalo, bye.